Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do something a little different. We are going to talk about the remaining movies that are going to be coming out for 2024 and decide whether we think they're going to be blockbusters or complete flops. We do have quite a few movies on the list, so let's get through them and see what we think. Okay guys, so first on my list are two movies that are coming out this Friday, November 8th. And one of them is by the studio A24, which is known for their psychological horrors and thrillers and is known as The Heretic. And then the second movie is a movie that you see me react to the trailer for it, and it's Anthony Mackie's Elevation, where humanity is dealing with these monsters and they can only survive if they are above a certain elevation. Both of these movies seem very interesting. I've seen a lot of A24's movies, and also, you know, Anthony Mackie is a great actor. I'm definitely going to say both of these are going to be blockbusters. Being that they're coming out on the same day, I'm not sure which one's actually going to win in the box office numbers, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm going to say blockbusters for the both of these. Now guys, we are in the month of November, and that means holiday movies are going to be coming out left and right. I'm just happy that one of the first ones is called Red One, and is an action comedy with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons. It just looks great. Santa Claus gets kidnapped and now they have to try to find him. It just looks like a crazy wild ride. I am definitely going to say blockbuster for this one. Most of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies are, so very excited for it. So definitely an interesting take on a holiday movie in my opinion. Next, we are going with a movie that I have talked about. You've seen the trailer for it. I made a short about me reacting to the trailer, and that blew up as well. Of course, I am talking about Gladiator 2. It comes out November 22nd. Ridley Scott is returning to do this movie, and some of the early reactions that I've been able to read about this movie say it's absolutely amazing. It is good, just as good, if not better than the first one. And even Denzel Washington, who is part of this movie, praises the young actor who plays Julius in this movie, Paul Mescal. He says that he is absolutely amazing. Definitely watch this movie. So I'm gonna put blockbuster down 100% for this movie, because there's just a lot of great names, and of course the original director Ridley Scott is back, and if he came back to do a sequel to a story that we thought didn't need one, then we definitely got to go check it out. Boy, I tell you that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is on fire this month of November, because on November 27th, just before Thanksgiving, we are getting Moana 2. I am super excited for this movie. I saw the first one. I absolutely loved it. It came out the same year that my daughter was born, and we've waited 8 years for this sequel to come out. A lot of the original cast is back, and also we're getting some new additions too. I will be front and center watching this, and I'm definitely putting blockbuster down on this one. All right guys, and now we're going into the month of December, and we got two movies that are coming out on December 13th, and they're both look really amazing. First is Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohirrim, I believe it's pronounced. It's basically a Lord of the Rings story set before the main storyline of Lord of the Rings, in anime style, and my wife is definitely excited to see this. I am too, just to see anime go so mainstream that they're tied to a big name like Lord of the Rings. Just absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna say blockbuster for this one. Our next movie is Sony Spider-Man spin-off movie, I guess you could say, Kraven the Hunter. Now Sony doesn't have the best track records with coming out with Spider-Man spin-offs that are actually good. However, this one is rated R, and we got Aaron Taylor Johnson playing Kraven. His costume looks freaking spot on from the comics. I have my fingers crossed. I'm gonna say blockbuster because it looks great. The trailer looks amazing. The trailers have been misleading from time to time, so I'm crossing my fingers that I'm right on this. If you played Marvel Spider-Man 2 for the PS5, you know Kraven was the main antagonist in that game, and it was absolutely amazing. So the fact that we were getting a movie for him just gets me more excited for it. So please, Sony, don't mess this up. I'm giving you a blockbuster rating, so pleased. Now we're jumping over to December 20th. We also have another 2 movies that are coming out that day, both of which are going to be really big. The first one is Sonic 3. You know, we got Keanu Reeves playing Shadow. The storyline looks crazy. The visuals look crazy. And we also have Mufasa, the Lion King, basically trying to give us the origin story of Mufasa from the Lion King. And it is going to be live action. Now, I am going to say, just simply because not many people liked the last Lion King live action, and also because this movie is coming out on the same day that Sonic 3 is, Sonic 3 is definitely going to be a blockbuster. Unfortunately, I do think that Mufasa might be a flop, just because people had a bad taste in their mouth from that last one. And I mean, you got Keanu Reeves playing Shadow. I mean, I think a lot of people are just gonna jump to the movie theaters and skip Mufasa and go straight to Sonic 3. So that's my prediction. However, I will be seeing both, so we'll see what happens. All right, guys, and the last movie on my list comes out on December 25th, Christmas, and it is known as Nosferatu. Now, the name might sound familiar because we have had different iterations of this story. It is basically a vampire story. It's gonna give us the perspective of how, like, Dracula is going after this young woman, and then they're kind of like tied in this psychological crazy horror. This movie has definitely a couple big names attached to it, and I'm a big fan of like vampire stories. Like I said, Nosferatu, if you've seen some of the other classic ones, I mean, it's a classic story. However, I do not think it's gonna be a blockbuster. I feel like it's definitely gonna flop. It might not flop terribly because, again, there are plenty of us horror lovers out there, but considering a lot of the other movies that are coming out, and that a week before this movie comes out, you still had Sonic and Mufasa, I definitely feel like this movie is not going to be able to keep up with the traction that those movies have. So I'm going to say flop. I am going to go see it though. Again, I am a fan of it. So, all right, guys, that's all the movies I have on my list. And now tell me what you guys think. Do you agree with some of my predictions of which ones will be blockbusters versus which ones are going to flop? Are there movies that I might have missed that I should have added to this list? Put them in the comments down below and I'll definitely respond to you guys. I appreciate everyone coming out, taking time to watch this video, and there'll be plenty more coming down the line, especially reviews for a lot of the movies I talked about. You guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I'll see you guys on the next one.